Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am the Motorcycle Rescuer and this is the Motorcycle Rescuer. So yes, hi guys, welcome back. I'm a touch under the weather, so excuse my sexy husky voice, please. I've done plenty COVID tests the last 4 or 5 days and they're clear, so it appears that I've got a good old-fashioned cold, which is quite nice, actually. The kind of COVID fear in the world is completely overwhelming, and you know, basically, like everyone else, I kind of just want it to go away now. Right, I was a bit sneaky yesterday, and we started both bikes. Sultan sounds terrible, I'm going to come back to that in a minute. I kind of sent everyone home yesterday at a reasonable time. I was kind of overwhelmed. There was too much going on. The Triumph was a lot of work. Sultan's bike sounded terrible. Gary turned up with the car, wiring, radios, and it was pouring down. So yeah, I was kind of overwhelmed. But when they all left, me and John stayed. The rain stopped, the sun came out kind of like this, actually, and we sat there and said, hang on a minute, this, my bike, sounded okay. It sounded fine. So I thought, okay, so what's going on here? The original owner rebuilt the carbs. He used the Haynes manual, however you say it, and he rebuilt it, and he was dead set that he was far and it was correct. I challenged him on that. I thought, if you can't, you know, set the idle right, but that's me being a little bit mean. So he did say to me something about the air fuel screws. He said he set one to something and one to something else, and I thought, hang on a minute, you know, no. So I looked into the manual and it said set them both to 2 out baseline. So he'd set them differently. No wonder it was running badly. Set them both 2 out, which is what I did. Set them both to 2 and then pulled them out to 3. 3 was a little bit not right. Put them back into 2.5. They're both now at 2.5. And the way I left this bike yesterday, it started and it's idled. Is that not bolted on? Is that dummy tank loose? Hey. It started, so I'm going to actually show you that. It sounds brilliant. So let me get you on the stand, because I'll need a bit of choke while it's cold. Fire it up, and I'll show you that I did a little bit of carb work, and I test run it, but I didn't actually film it, but I will do today. So the way I left it, this bike kind of did start. Let me put the legs down a little bit more. It did start, it did idle, it did run, it did ride. Let's see. Right, where are we? Choke on. So that's how me and John left it yesterday. It's still not fully warm. That spitting is interesting because that's something Sultan's does a lot as well. To be fair, it doesn't do that when it fully warms up. Or it does a little bit actually. It does a little bit when we raise the idles a touch. That spitting is something that me and John were looking into last night because both bikes are doing it. It seems interesting, but ultimately that bike idles, runs and rides very well. We test rode it yesterday. But yeah, I do want to look into that kind of spitting. To be fair, I haven't yet done the spark plugs, haven't cleaned them, changed them, chopped the coils, cleaned the wiring, blah blah blah, etc etc etc. Haven't done all that, so that could kind of account for whatever's going on there. But like I said, it rides beautifully, it's idling, the carb stuff is done. So the issue here is will be kind of coil related, I'm sure. And I think I'll probably go down the route of new coils, new spark plugs, everything. It's funny, that common spitting theme on the virago. I'm not even firing his up. Now let me explain. Let me explain what I think is going on here, although I could be wrong. Many of you, many responses yesterday, more than I normally get, talked about this bike, Sultan's bike, and they said that the bearings, the crank bearings, could be gone. It sounds like they're gone. From this end, it didn't sound like that. From this end, it sounded like it was running on one, or at least mainly on one, and the other one was struggling. For me, there's a carb issue going on here, rather than a engine issue at this stage. So I want to get these carbs off, cleaned and balanced, etc. I don't want to take them fully off. You can actually do the cleaning with them on the bike. I'm going to show you that. But my guess, my hope is that when I clean this and balance it a touch, that it's going to run and sound more normal like mine over there. My hope. Again, the spitting stuff, I don't know there what's going on, but let's get this engine running a bit better than it is. Now, I don't know much about the balance of these bikes, except that the throttles are meant to, you can't really see what I'm doing there, but I'm just looking for any play, any gaps within. So they're fairly, they seem fairly synced, but they could actually be synced in the wrong direction. So we'll need to look at that again, as in one could be running higher than the other. So I will look at that, but first things first, carb clean. So what I'm going to do is take this bike and lean it against the side opposite the stand. I'll explain in a minute why I'm doing that. Now currently, all I've done is taken that metal cover off, and I've leaned the bike away. What I need to do is, I've taken all the pipework away. This is the emissions pipework. I've taken all that away. I'm going to unbolt it here and try and kind of bend this down just to give me clearance of the bottom of the carbs, which are here. Yeah, that's the bottom of the carbs. That's the easy part. I wonder, overflow tube, it must be. What I haven't done yet, which I need to consider, which I need to do, is these carbs are known for the air fuel screws breaking. So I'm going to spray some WD-40 down there, put it back on its stand this way, because they are on the other side. So watch, stand down, lean the bike back over like normal, and then the screws we're looking for are in here and in here, renowned for breaking and being fixable basically. So I'm going to check that they're loose, spray a bit of WD down there for a few minutes, then check that they do loosen up, because that's a key part of this carb clean. If they are loose and spinning, that's perfect. I then tip this back that way and we take one of the bowls off at a time and see what's going on. My guess is that one of the bowls was overfilling or underfilling. The valves need cleaning, that's my guess. And that's why one cylinder was kind of not really working to its full potential. It wasn't really working at all, if we're being honest. So that's where we are at this stage. So a bit of WD down to let it work its way around the threads, and then I'm going to try and loosen them up with a flathead that fits, and I'm going to be really gentle. Okay, so all 4 of the right screws, with a little bit of persuasion, came loose. Little rag here to catch spilling fuel, like that. 1, 2, 3, and 4. There we go. Let's get these out. Now these carbs are upside down, so normally you'd look in the bowl and see how clean it is. This bowl is very clean, that's all good. But that's not really what we're looking at this stage. What we're looking at is here. Looking at a couple of things here, okay? First, let me just set you a little. First, we're looking at the float. Okay, that's the float. I have to be honest, I'm rubbish at setting floats. I'm so bad at it. Normally what I would do is put a bit of pipe on, blow some air through, set it to the best of my ability. But that does seem to be, it's something, I think it's 14 millimeters from that circle. I'd say, oh, I don't know. I think it needs to cut off a touch earlier. It should be, oh, I don't know, it is touching though. I'm not sure. I'm going to be honest with you guys, I'm not sure. But key for me now at this stage is to get the jets out. That's the main jet there. I don't actually know what that is, funny enough. But that's your main jet. I don't know where your idle jet is. One interesting carb. Now I believe this slides out and then the thing just falls. Yeah, there you go. And then we've got the are we magnetic? Yeah, there you go. Did I make that easier or worse? Got it. Right. So I've got the float, I've got the valve. Funny enough, this carb looks very clean, almost like it's been rebuilt not that long ago. But I'm going to clean the internals. Now, whatever this is, I don't know what these are. It looks like it all comes out. So I'm flustered here. This is a new carb for me, guys. So all I can do is try my best. That's the main jet, that will need cleaning. I don't even know where the pilot jet is. It might be this here. I'll get that cleaned, and then I'm going to see if taking these screws off pulls it all out and it can all be cleaned. But again, genuinely, I'm not sure what's going on. Just looking at the rubber on top, it seems okay. I might want to do a spray test later. Let me do the best I can. I'm going to pop this out. I'm going to pop this out of curiosity. I might try and take these two out to see if that comes out, again out of curiosity. Give it all a good clean, put it back on, give the float a good clean, put it back on, adjust the float to the best of my ability. Again, I don't really properly know how to do it, but it just basically has to cut off 14 millimeters under this circle is the kind of rule that I saw online. It needs to start cutting off, so I'll check all that out. So I genuinely don't know what I'm doing with these particular carbs, but any hole I saw I've sprayed, okay? Spray and clean. Now I've taken the middle bit out. I don't yet know how it works, but I think this is the idle here, the idle jet here. So that's the main, that's the idle there. And then that's the needle, but I don't know quite how the full main works either. It could be this hole here. It could be something to do with whatever this bit is here. I'm not going to pretend to know. So I've cleaned it all out. It goes back in. That bit's kind of okay. Then we put the clean off the float, put that back in, and from a kind of basic point of view, that bit's done. Really, it's not much more we can do. Although the air fuel screws do need to come out, and they do need to be cleaned and put back in and set. So this carb clean so far has gone well, so that's okay. Let me put it all back together. I have sprayed up here as well. If you have a Q-tip, get it up there, clean it out. But I've sprayed through here as well. Block one end, spray through the other, and it all trickles down. That should run out any crap that's left up there. So carb 2, annoyingly one of the bolts gave me a hard time, but it's all good. Let's check the float. The float at this stage seems okay. Obviously that's not enough. I'm checking the float, but it gives you an idea. If that float didn't move and was stuck up there, then you'd know there was something wrong. And if it doesn't shut off the air, which we'll check in a minute, then of course we know something's wrong. In fact, let me get a pipe on it and we'll check that now. Yeah, so the shut-off valve appears to be doing its basic job at this stage. So same as before, take this off, get it all out, give it all a good clean, give it all a good spray through, and chuck it back on. If I'm being honest, so far I expected there to be more issues inside the carb, if I'm being fully honest. Like it caked up or something. That concerns me. That makes me wonder if there's more issues to this bike than you know, like people have suggested. That's my worry. But let me get it off, give it a good clean, chuck it back on, and we'll see where we sit from there. Okay guys, this is what I've noticed. Same thread size, different head sizes. One's bigger than the other, one's lower, one's fatter, one's thinner. Different main jets. One's a 125. The 125 was on the back. One's smaller, 135. The 135's on the front. Now, Nat touched on his video yesterday that they do have different size jets in carb sometimes. It's normally to do with where the air's coming from more than anything else, as in is the carb getting too hot, is that part of the engine getting too hot, so a richer mixture can help keep it cool. So they sometimes do use different jets. I've got a feeling these don't. I've just grabbed the book, I'm going to check the book. Now I don't have either of these jets actually. I have these jets. Now I think they're the same thread size, although I could be wrong. Let me check that now. Right, so they are the same thread size, but the head size is different. And if we need the extra thin head there, then I haven't got them. Although saying that, mine is probably the same. So this is quite confusing, but this completely makes sense. That why the bike wasn't happy. Let me just check the book to see what cylinder was fueled higher, if it was at all. Alright guys, I've gone and got two 140s that are the same from my set. I don't think they're the right ones. I think they might work, but I'm not sure. All we can do is try. They're the same at least. Both 140s, we've gone up by 5. The reason we chose to go up by 5 is because we're putting this through the ULEZ. So we needed it to be more compliant. So now I'm going to nip them all back up, and we'll be firing this up in not too long. So let me get all these buttons back up. We'll fire it up. Hopefully it sounds a bit better than it did. If not, then I think we need to look at the balance. We need to look at the balance.
Mess around with the idle.
And then we need to look at. Then we need to do a spray test. Get some spray down there. Make sure everything's sealed, nothing's leaking. And then we'll be looking at the balance and the idle. Probably putting on the carb tune to check that out. For now, button it back up. Okay, guys. So what we've done is we have. Sorry, I'm just setting you up Sultan's here, by the way. Did I say Sultan was here and late? So, carbs kind of may be done, but I've put in different main jets, so I honestly don't know. I've reset the air fuel screws to baseline, which is 2 screws out. We need the bike to warm up to the point where it will idle off choke, and then we'll adjust the air fuel screw sets. I believe they need to come half more out, which is what mine did yesterday, and that's when it functioned at its best. So, Sultan primed the system twice. All he did was turn the key twice, turn it back off, and that pumped fuel back into the carbs. If this bike's okay, it will start and it will kind of sit and idle. If it's really okay, it will have the top revs because that's the jet we just changed. So if it has its first, third, half throttle and full throttle, then we're looking good at this stage. So Sultan, does it start? That's the next. If it starts, let it sit and idle off choke. But however you get it started, it's up to you. On choke, off choke, it don't matter. Is there any choke on? Use choke for 30 seconds. Oh, I think that sounds better. Wait, let it warm up. So guys, it's got all of its revs. I've just adjusted the idle a little bit. Now we adjust the air fuel screws, and all we're listening for is, does the engine note get louder? Right, where am I? Come on. There you go. Right, half out, you ready? Half out. Half out. It didn't get louder really, did it? Let's go again. Half out. Hang on. Come on, get in. Half out. The revs didn't rise. Right. Martin, is that you? That seems fairly happy. Test ride.